Hey guys, Ron here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have machining Megacolony in the spotlight. Look at this quick shield. It's such a pretty quick shield, and it's pretty darn cheap. I think it was like $20. I don't know, I bought a whole SP pack. Getting right into the profile, we've got the dice. You're going to need your crits, so make sure you've got crit dice if you have them, and then you're going to be playing Megacolony, so get your Megacolony dice. Ha 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 ha. Starting off with the starting Vanguard, we've got one machining worker ant. Makes sense, he fits the deck, he's machining, ta-da! Let's get on to the grade 3s. This is where the meat comes in. We love meat, it's pretty decent. And if you don't love meat, let's talk about vegan meat options. Those are pretty good too. 4 machining Spark Hercules, I think we all know what he does. First VR that we ever got, finally coming back into the set, kinda love him. 2 machining Stag Beetle, I mean, again, same thing. First set, we kind of love him. Does some good stuff. And now we have, boom! Machining Meteor Bullet. New grade 3 machining unit. I love him. He gives all of your machining units boost if you have 5 or more rear guards. And that's Vanguard rear guard circle, by the way. And then his second ability rests one of your machining units to get plus 10,000 power. So he causes for some big columns. Say you have like him on Vanguard, him over here, and then, you know, units in the back row. Rest them and then stand them, power 5 to all these idiots, and then power 10. So plus 15, this is 27 on its own, which makes for some pretty big columns. And I'm not saying it's the best deck and it has the best win con, but like it's alright. Especially considering it is now considered a budget build because machining VR is like $3. Getting to the grade 2s, we have machining Mantis. We all know what he does, 15k attacker. Grade 3 searcher, we have this new boy, machining Scatterhorn. He has the same ability of looking at the top 6 for no cost and then adding a non-grade 2, so you can add a grade 1 or whatever. Yeah, and put it into your hand, and then you have to put a card. If you put a card in your hand, you have to put a card to your soul. So you can early soul charge an extra grade 3 for like D-Wall, Death Ward, Antlion, if you run him. I'm not currently running him because I think the deck doesn't have a lot of draw power. Which is true, it really doesn't. But then, of course, our last grade 2... Oh, sorry, he has a second ability. Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, Soul Blast 1. Rest a rearguard with machining in its card name. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and that unit cannot stand. So if your opponent has a very pesky unit that you do not want to be dealing with, Aglavale, Morfessa, that type of stuff. If for some reason Morfessa and Aglavale are still in the field, you know, rest them. And then, of course, 2 Water Gang. He is just a good unit to have. Makes for some good draw and a good target for your opponent to attack in case you don't want to take damage. Sorry, I had to pause there real quick. I thought my neighbors were knocking at my door. They were knocking really loud on my neighbor's door, so that just goes to show you how loud my neighbors are when knocking. Getting into the grade 1s, these are the thicker ones because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of good grade 1s to run in the deck. We start with 4 Machining Hornet. I think the Soul Charge, grade 3 search ability, and on-hit pressure is just really good. Scares your opponent into guarding early or saying no guard to get it off of your field or whatever, you know. Pretty good stuff. And then if you get a grade 3 off of it, it goes to your soul, so you get more soul charge, which is nice. We've got a new boy, Machining Cybister, who on Rearguard Circle, when rested by your card's ability, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, call up to one card with machining in its card name from among them to Rearguard Circle, put the rest on the bottom of your deck. It doesn't say in any order, but you know, sad. This ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once it turns. So that's a really, really good grade 1. Just helps build free field, which means you have to call less from your hand, which is why Pale Moon is good. We are running 3 Machining Lady Bomber. Oh, hey Daisy. Good girl. Sorry, my dog just waddled into my room. She's adorable still. Oh, what you panting for? Hold on 1 second. She drank all her water. We are running 3 Machining Lady Bomber. Sorry that I have paused twice in the middle of this video, but he has the ability to Soul Blast 1, rest himself, and any number of all fighters' rear guards to rest them. And then if your opponent has 3 or less rear guards, you can countercharge 1. I'm not saying you're going to get the countercharge off, but the ability to rest him in your early game is pretty good. Of course, you can do that with the new grade 2, but having 2 options to be able to rest him with, pretty good. So then, lastly, we've got Powdery Dialady, who is a promo. I don't know if everyone got this, but I sure did. When placed from hand during your main phase, stand one of your other rested rear guards, and that unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. I've been trying to find a way to fit this into a machining deck for a while, well, ever since I saw it was printed, and it kind of works now. So let's say you've got an early game going. You use his ability, rest this, and let's say you got lucky and called this, right? So let's say you've got this field set up. Then you can, well, let's say you do it this way. You can call this, stand this. This gets power plus 5,000. Use his ability, rest this. He gets 10,000 rather than an 8,000 boost. So this is on your turn 2, 22, 17, 22. It's actually pretty good for early game pressure. So that is why I am running things the way that I am. Good little combos on turn 2 make for way better late game. Getting into the grade 0 lineup, it's not super special, but let's go ahead and show you guys. We've got 4 Medical Battler Rantley, who I know I said I was going to stop using, but he kind of just fits better as a heal trigger with my machining units, so I'm still running him in the machining deck. Don't worry, he's not being run in the Gridora deck. 4 Paralyzed Madonna. Draw triggers are important in this deck. You don't have an insane amount of draw power, which is why we run 2 A Flutter Drafter as well. I thought it was A Flater. A Flutter. A Flutter. It's a Flutter. My bad, sorry. We are running 4 Jewel Flasher and 2 Shelter Beetle to make for a nice 6 crit, 6 draw, 4 heal deck build. So, as you guys can see, that was all I really had for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so glad to be back to making content, and I will hopefully have a Gridora deck profile and updated Gun and Colio deck profile coming up soon, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'll be working on some matches, actually. I'm hopefully starting with this deck to